Hi, I'm Josephine Ross. You're listening to Catholic versus Protestant.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you believe, and why you believe it.
Well, I was raised Protestant. I went to the United Church as a child. I also went to the Salvation Army periodically, and
What was it like growing up with the United Church of Canada? Were you taught to pray by your mother before bed and stuff like that, before meals? Would your father pray before meals?
oh no, my father never. The closest thing my father came to saying anything religious, when my mother had a felon or some pain, and she'd tell him about it, he'd say, "Tell your troubles to the Lord."
He wasn't very
wasn't very religious. No.
But
And he wasn't around home. He left and had a baby with another woman while I was being born, so I didn't know him
okay.
as a child.
So how did it come about that you were going to church?
Well, it was just what we did. It was, we girls would go out. I was baptized when I was about 8. The Queen Street United Church was about 2 blocks away, and we'd go to church. I don't remember Mom going with us, probably because she was happy to have an hour free of kids.
Yeah.
And
But how many kids were in your?
there were 7 girls, and
No boys.
no boys. No.
Okay. So I remember when I was young, you taught me how to pray before bed.
Yeah, that's right.
Did your mom teach you or no?
Well, she must have. I don't recall it, but
Would you pray at night?
yeah, we always kneel by the bed and say, "Now I lay me down to sleep." As I thought about it later, because I taught you guys to do that before you'd go to bed, but then I thought, how scary, really, for a little kid to say if I should die before I wake, you know. But yeah, we prayed, and I still pray.
Do you still say that prayer?
No.
Okay.
I say the Lord's Prayer.
Okay.
Well, other one's too scary. But, and I always, I think it's Psalm 122. I always say that at night. I say it through the day
Can
too.
you say the whole thing now?
I shall lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my strength. My strength cometh from the Lord, which created heaven and earth. He shall not suffer thy foot to be moved. He who keepeth thee shall not slumber. Behold, he who keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shield upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. He shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this day forward, and even forevermore.
Nice. Would you recite Psalms as a family, as a kid, or?
Oh, no, there was never any sort of touch of religion really in the house.
Interesting that you kids would go to church.
Yeah, I don't know. It just
Natural.
Yeah, we just did. It was, and it was close. Mom believed in God, and she wanted us to grow up.
With faith.
Yeah.
That's nice. Can you tell me a little bit about? I know it's not pleasant, but when you went to high school, some of those Catholic girls beat you up. Can you just introduce and tell that story?
Yeah. Well, we used to, we'd be walking along Princess Street, and the Catholic girls would be on the other side, and these 2 girls, and they'd holler over nasty stuff at us, like, "Hey, look at her, she's got red hair and black eyebrows," because I had red hair and black eyebrows. I don't know why she picked on me, because I was always shy. Anyway, one time we were at Skelton Park, and these 2 Catholic girls show up, and they start beating me up. And this is when I was a lot younger than going to high school. And I bound and bent. I was not going to shed a tear through it. And they pulled my hair and pulled it. I'm sure they pulled some of it out, until at last they stood back and said, "Wow, she doesn't feel any pain. There's no sense torturing me anymore." But anyway, when I was going to high school, and these same Catholic girls, we were walking by the Bell telephone, and she started beating me up again, right in front of the telephone. The guys from the frame at the Bell, at the window, hollering out, you know, cat fight or whatever, you know. Anyway, that was probably in October. And then in March, I started work at that very building. and saw those same guys that had seen me fighting out front.
So what happened as you girls grew up? Did some of the kids go deep into hardcore religion and others less so? Or what's the sort of spectrum there?
No, nobody was over the top religious, and nobody ever swore in my home.
No?
No. The only time, when we were little, we'd drive Mom nuts, and we'd keep it up until she said damn, and when she said damn, you knew that was time to stop. But grandmother lived right next door. She was an interesting lady.
Your grandmother?
Yeah. She told fortunes. And
what was her trade name?
Madam Maisie. And it was in the personal column of the Whig Standard. Madam Maisie knows all, tells all.
Did she ever tell fortunes to her family and friends, or only to strangers?
Oh, she only had paying customers. But she had a crystal ball on her kitchen table, and Mom would be, at some time we lived there. We lived upstairs. But
did she have a mystique about her, or no?
Oh, yeah, she didn't put on any gypsy type. No, but she was. She had a presence. That's what I would say.
Okay.
She never cared for me too much, but my mom, when we were living there at one time, Mom told me that my mother would be in the living room, and knock would come to the door, and it would be someone who wanted her fortune told, and they'd walk past the living room to the kitchen. Mom could hear them going out there, and the chairs being pulled out, and then I see someone in uniform. And seeing as it was wartime, everybody had, oh, is he going to be all right? Yes, he's going to be all right, And they were glad to hear it, she didn't have any powers, but...
She had the power of deception.
Yeah, she was, she was...
Special lady.
No, she wasn't. I never felt like I had a grandmother at all.
She was a tough lady.
Well, you just never had a grandmother that would hug you,
Oh.
Yeah.
What about your mom's mom?
She was sort of a very unhappy lady. She...
Not too warm?
No, she wasn't warm at all. I don't remember her touching me.
Poor thing.
I guess I didn't like her as a kid, but as I'm older, I can realize that she was very unhappy, because this would be interesting in your Catholic versus Protestant. She was in love with a Catholic boy.
Oh.
He was in love with her. And in those days, you did not do it. Both families wouldn't have any part of it.
Oh.
But so they were forbidden to marry. And then, however it came about, she married my grandfather, who was 18 years older than her. I'm sure they didn't even like each other.
So when you got a bit older and started working as an adult or whatever, left home?
No, I never left home till I got married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But when you met Dad, was it just a happy coincidence that you both belonged to the United Church of Canada?
Well, I don't remember it being so happy.
No, but
I was happy to meet him, but sort of thing like...
incidental?
I went to, church was never sort of,
Central.
Oh my God, I got to go to church or I'm going to die. It was it was something you did, and it was a part of your life, and a nice part of your life.
But when you met Dad and you just casually found out he was United Church of Canada, and when you were going to get married, it was just a natural thing. It didn't require any thought or anything. Just get married in the United Church of Canada?
Yeah, that's right. And he attended Princess Street United Church, so that's where we got married. And then when you guys were baptized, you all were baptized in the Princess Street United.
Yeah, you got us baptized nice and young. I think I was 3 months old.
Yeah, that's right. And,
Dad was baptized late. I think he was baptized 13 years old.
I think I was 12, something like that.
So as you, when you got married and had kids and all that sort of thing, up until that point, religion was just in the background, just as a pleasant sort of Sunday activity?
Yeah, that's right. It was something you did, and you didn't do it because you had to. You did it because you wanted to, and you wanted your kids to be raised in the church and, go to Sunday school and
Was there peer pressure from the neighbors and family?
No, no. Absolutely no pressure whatsoever.
No?
You went to church because you wanted to go. It was a family thing. Then go to the Golden Arches after. It might have been an incentive for you kids. But you kids never, ever, ever said, I don't want to go to church. I don't want to go to Sunday school. Okay. Never. Yeah. And it wasn't like I was going to beat you if you didn't go. And Mom would, we'd pick up Mom, and Mom would be living with us, and she'd go to church with us. And yeah, it was just nice. And Dad always enjoyed. In fact, I was going to say to you that he really misses church.
Yeah, he told me that in his interview, yeah.
He tells me that all the time. And I say, well, why don't you go to church?
You can't stand it.
The crowds, eh?
Yeah. So in your own personal life, did you ever doubt God or become an atheist or anything like that?
Oh, no. You know.
Did you ever curse God?
Oh, yeah, I swear, you mean?
No, but I mean, be angry.
Oh, I'd be angry. Angry lots of times.
Sorry, Ma.
For a lot of things that happened in my life. My family turned against me.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to die. I still want to die.
Sorry, Ma.
I would say I've lost the joy of living.
Poor thing.
You don't go through deep depression trying to kill myself twice.
Yeah. Can't come out unscathed.
No.
But through all the dark stuff, did you maintain a prayer life?
I still prayed. You know, I still believe. But I don't think anybody can live and see things that happen to people, kids and all that you wonder why. You know, if God can do so much, why He allows stuff to go on. But I know that He gave us the power to think for ourselves, and I try to say, not my will, but thine will be done, you know?
Yeah.
And, but I can't see a tiny little seed that has all the stuff in there to make it a beautiful flower without knowing that there is a God, there is someone that creates that. It doesn't just happen, you know?
So you never fell into atheism?
No, I never did. Never did, no. I never stopped believing in God, but I did wonder, as I say at times, I think, how come everybody's being so mean to me? No, it's just things that happen, you know. I think you know what.
Yeah, a lot of suffering, yeah. Do you think that you've had an amount of joy to compensate for that, or no?
No.
Would you rather be a little bit more like me, where I don't feel a lot of highs and lows?
Oh, yeah, well, lots of times I say that, like, Dad can roll with the punches more than I can, and he's very happy being him.
Yeah.
I've never been very happy being me.
You ever wonder why you have to suffer so much?
No, I don't really wonder why. I just wonder why God won't let me die. I don't want to live anymore.
Yeah. I'm ready to go too, but I'm just going to see if the Lord gives me my dose of suffering before I go.
Hope not. I'll do mine for you.
I haven't suffered much yet. You've done enough for both of us.
Yeah, no, you've suffered. Everybody, you know, you don't get through life without going through trauma. I was trying to figure out what happened to you when you were 14 that made you...
Cookie?
Was there something that made you stop believing in God?
When I was 14, I had a dream that I saw Jesus and He was waving to me. Woke up and I realized that I'd lost my faith. I knew it was counterintuitive, but I just went with it. It was like Jesus waving goodbye to me was sort of like He knew I would come back to Him, and He was sort of saying, see you later.
Oh, I see. And did
you
do horrible stuff when you were 14?
More than the average 14-year-old.
See, I was always rebellious, like stupid stuff, like my mother called me to go to Sunday school or whatever, and she'd have to call me a million times before I'd actually go. I was rebellious like that. And I found drinking was, well, what it does, it breaks down the barriers and you can become a different person, or your real self comes out or something. Like, I liked people, they seemed to like me, but nobody liked me when I was, I don't know. I'm pathetic, aren't I?
Yeah. You had, so you started drinking when you were young to socialize?
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I just wanted to get out of myself. When you don't like yourself, it's nice to get out,
Yeah. Yeah.
get away and not care about anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been a long, tough road.
Yeah, a lot of suffering, Ma.
Well, a lot of it's just because I haven't been strong enough.
You don't need to be strong to go to heaven.
I know.
I think you need to be weak to go to heaven.
I always remember when we were watching The Twilight Zone, and this old guy was up in the clouds, and he was walking along with his dog, and he got to heaven, and they said, "You can come in, but no dogs allowed." And so he walked away, and then finally he said, "That can't be heaven. Only dogs in." So he went down, and sure enough, he found where they were both welcome.
I remember that. Okay, let's change our topic a little bit and talk about my conversion. What impact did that have on you? Or was it out of the blue, or were you surprised, or what?
I was totally, totally happy. Your whole being changed. You just were my David again. It was just marvelous, David. It just, because I felt for you.
I was a bit off during those years, 25
No,
years.
you were...
Troubled?
Yeah, you were really seemed troubled, seemed at loose ends. I was brokenhearted.
Thanks for sticking with me.
I thought, what's going to happen to you?
Were you praying for me?
Oh, yeah. I always pray for you. You always were special, just because you're you, but because I'd lost that other baby and I was so afraid I was going to lose you. While I was carrying you, I was afraid you weren't going to live.
Didn't the doctors give you some warning it wouldn't be a good idea to have another baby, or?
Well, they said I shouldn't have another one for 2 years.
Okay.
At least 2 years. Yeah.
So I asked you about my conversion. You said you're happy with it.
Oh, yeah, I was really happy. And Dad and I were both happy. It was when we went down there for the ceremony.
For my confirmation.
It was just so uplifting, and there was so much love, and people feel warm towards you, and they know that you're a good person, and I think your sincere interest in people, I think it's a real gift that you have.
I think you have the gift too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, depression in our bloodline, how many of your siblings were clinically depressed, like where a doctor would say, yeah, you're depressed?
I think all of us.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think...
Did you know of anyone in the family that was actively a witch or demonic stuff on purpose?
No, there's nothing like demonic that I know of. But my sister, she was saying about when she'd have these spells, she said that the kids would know when they were coming on. So I don't know just what kind of spells she had, because I didn't know. I thought it was like, when I would get depressed, and I'd just go to bed and, but I never felt that it was something that people would feel coming on,
Oh, yeah. We did as kids.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You would know when
I would be at school and I would get that special feeling and come home and there would be something up.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, we would know.
Oh, really?
We would know at a distance.
Oh, really?
But definitely...
So what do you think that is?
I think it's a spiritual world.
Yeah. You don't feel it's evil?
I mean, I think there's good and evil, and God's in charge of the whole show, and God allows evil, and so, it was a foreboding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't pleasant.
No.
But I was always, as a child, I was always oblivious and very much in a bubble, and I would have dreams and nightmares. And,
oh, really?
And the distinction between the dream and reality wasn't always crystal clear. You know what I mean?
Yeah?
Yeah, I just like life is but a dream for me, sort of, even to this day. Less so now.
Yeah.
But there's, you could attribute it to mental illness, you could attribute it to some spiritual thing or whatever, who knows. But when I think about my childhood and the dream life,
yeah,
and some of these sort of psychic phenomena,
oh, really?
Dark, disturbing, troubling stuff.
So nothing about it was pleasant, it was all like sort of...
Spooky stuff, yeah. I'm not spooked now. I've
Big
sort of come out of that fog.
Yeah? I had no idea that you were... Sometimes I look at your pictures, school pictures, and you look sad, and I think,
Wonder if he's sad.
were you sad?
I think Dad said that the kids all had different temperaments. Mine leaned towards melancholy.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate, but I prefer sadness over anger.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not overwhelmed with sadness. But
Like, I must say that I get dreams where I stop them, you know, like I feel that demon, you know,
Yeah.
and then I
You say no.
pray, you
Yeah.
know, and then I know that they can't get across it, you know, but I do have that fear of the devil, you know.
How many of you 7 girls have attempted suicide?
4.
And 2 succeeded?
Yeah.
So on a lighter note, can you just talk about sort of what you love about God and what you look forward to about heaven? What are the good, rosy, happy scenarios that you have waiting for you after death?
Well, just being footloose and fancy free.
Do you often think of heaven?
Well, I think, yeah, a lot.
What do you picture?
Serenity, just good feeling, just happy days are here again. No, but I just think that all my trials, Lord, soon be over. You know, where there's no more pain, just the feeling of togetherness with,
Your loved ones?
yeah.
Anyone in particular you miss that you'd like to see?
Well, my mom. And my baby Faith.
Did she die? Did she die in your womb, or?
No. She lived 3 hours after she was born. When I came to, and I asked Dad about it, he said, it was a girl, and that she had spina bifida and hydroencephalitis, water on the brain, and that the doctor had said that the opening in the back with spina bifida was a large opening, and that they could send her to Toronto to a specialist to have her operated on, but chances she wouldn't come through it. And if she did, she'd never walk. She'd never, she might live 6 months, she might live. And the doctor said that he would recommend that we just let her go. So...
They just let her die like that, or did they have to do something to kill her?
No, she just died on her own.
So when did you name her Faith?
Then
Okay.
it would give us faith to go on.
It's going to be fun to see what she looks like in heaven.
Yeah.
So we don't know who's listening, but what would you say to anyone that is listening?
I say, don't give up the ship. But no, you have to, you can't rush it, for one thing. No matter how many times I've tried, you can't bring the end on faster than,
Do you find life long, or?
Hellish long. Really long. Long ago I said uncle, but it's not up to me, I guess. I don't think that's maybe uplifting, but that's all I can say.
Thanks, Ma.
If you like your worldview, if you think it's swell, if you've got some questions, ask me and I'll tell. All you got to do is ask. All you got to do is ask.